Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the channel where we talk about stuff. Because there's always a lot of stuff going on in the cryptocurrency market. Very big thank you to everyone who leaves a comment on the video. Yeah, it helps out a lot. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. There's always new ones. Yay! So, as we get ever closer to 2026, yeah, I know it's gonna continue to probably be a big topic because 2026 is like it's gonna happen. So we have to. The cryptocurrency market continues to get more attention. We are having more than ever a lot of price predictions for Bitcoin, for the cryptocurrency market. If you shouldn't have missed this in any sort of way. Recently, when gold was kind of pumping in price, there's a lot of dynamics to this, and I'm going to try and give you like the easiest one just because it's literally like, I don't want it to take 25 minutes. The idea is that the Federal Reserve, as far as we have heard, is going to continue to lower interest rates. Not just this year, but also in 2026. It's been a huge thing written in the stars as of late that we keep hearing that the Fed kind of is forced to lower interest rates because the world's economies aren't looking too hot. And also that apparently next year, when the Fed chair, when the Fed chair, Jerome Powell, that's what it was. I think it was the Fed and Jerome kind of got me. Jerome Powell ends up being replaced. I think his time is also like done at the Fed. He's going to be replaced. Got it. And therefore, we are expecting. I told a friend this recently, and he thought I was over-exaggerating. As I always say, if you hear me say something and it sounds grandiose, ridiculous, please Google it and look it up for yourself because it's a real thing. I told my friend, and he's like, no, that's not a thing. So as far as we understand, Trump wants the new head of the Fed to instantaneously lower interest rates from where they are immediately to 1%. This is going to do a lot of different things. This is going to immediately cause a huge amount of money to be printed and for the US dollar to further get hyper devalued. This is going to cause grocery prices to rise to astronomical levels. It's just how it works. Once again, Google it, because I've said basic things before on this channel, and people go, "That's not how it works." I'm pretty sure that's what it is. And it's also going to cause asset prices to rise really, really, really fast. So people who are holding on to assets and people who are holding on to cryptocurrencies, by all theory and logic, are the ones who are going to make out essentially like bandits. As we get this turbulent economic times and people are de-dollarizing, and it looks like inflation's going to continue to be absolutely massive. We were going over before exactly how much in 2025 the US dollar fell in value. It's between 15 to 20%. Google it. So this is now leading to the Bitcoin masses screaming even louder than they did before. Bitcoin maximalists have always believed that the US dollar was going to crumble, fall, float into the sky. The thing is that we kind of didn't expect it to happen so soon or in this way. We've seen before when the US dollar faltered. We've seen this in the past. When the US dollar falters, assets tend to do really well as inflation takes hold. Same exact thing for Bitcoin. One of the things I've seen on Twitter is this idea of like a negative Bitcoin gold correlation that also is correlated. Basically, if gold does well, the theory is that investors tend to look in gold's direction rather than looking in Bitcoin's direction. If gold begins to stumble or fall down, it had like a $400 drop in this was weeks ago, and in like a day. The idea is that people then begin to look around for another asset, and Bitcoin kind of becomes the recipient of all of that money. Not even lending to the fact that we keep hearing that, whatever. We keep hearing that all these governments and institutions, I'm so tired of saying it because it's like, it's the gigantic digital elephant in the room. And if you know about it, you know about it. At this point, we can't go any further into it. As we move towards this grand future of what Bitcoin is supposed to be in the very near future, there are now numbers being thrown out as to what Bitcoin's value, exact value, or equivalent value should be comparative to not only the movements in gold, but also the actual money that's moving into the Bitcoin market as we've been seeing. The predictions are, for those of you who missed it, that apparently, no one knows, we'll see about 4 months. It's pretty good. It's a pretty good time frame for that. We should see if Bitcoin's 4-year cycles are basically poof, if they've disappeared. It's not a bad thing if they disappear per se. It just would basically mean we no longer would have that 4-year cycle loop where we can go up and down and up and down. The idea would be that prices would basically continuously tick up. The perceived value, if Bitcoin does follow the trajectory, this is from one of the head of digital asset research at Van Eck, said that Van Eck is expecting that Bitcoin's market cap will be half of gold by 2028. That is to say, in a good 2 years, 4 or 5 weeks, I'm bad at counting, somewhere around there, Bitcoin's price would have continuously ticked up. And if we get to the point where Bitcoin's valuation is, and I say this lightly, only half of gold's market cap valuation, this would imply a Bitcoin price of $644,000 US by 2028. What's missing? There are two numbers that are missing. Can you figure them out? It's 2029 and 2030. What are the numbers that we've heard over and over for Bitcoin's price by 2029, 2030? You must remember, it's $1 million per coin. Van Eck's prediction says 644,000 in 2028. That would then lend the 2029, 2030 price to being $1 million per coin. There was someone recently who was talking about the actual movements of the cycles and Bitcoin and all these other things. And he says he thinks that the 4-year cycle is not only done for, but he said he thinks that these like price shocks are only going to actually get more intense because the average person doesn't know and isn't paying attention to exactly how little Bitcoin there actually is out there for essentially 8 billion people. That's been, as I said before, that's been one of the most clever magic tricks that these rich people have pulled in 2025 and subsequently through the last decade. People don't realize. You hear 21 million Bitcoin, But you can't conceptualize a world where there might only be 500,000 Bitcoin left for 8 billion people. Crazy, right? Yeah, next year is going to be a doozy. I'm telling you, between the dollar falling, between the deficit rising, if we get to a 1% interest rate, it's going to get interesting really, really, really fast. And I'll be honest with you, I'm quite excited to see if in February and March, if Bitcoin, Ethereum, and XRP are still chugging along, moving up in price. Because that's the news that we keep getting over and over and over from every analyst and every single institution. Fun times ahead, y'all. I do hope that you've all enjoyed. I do hope that you all are having a great day, morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are, wherever the heck you might be. I do hope it is absolutely fantastic. Thank you all once again for watching, listening, liking, commenting, and supporting. And I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See you.